We are off to Exuma today. We're gonna vlog
Somewhere
today's.
new for both of us.
Yeah, I've never been. I've only seen the pigs, but I've never been to the actual island. So we've had this plan for a long time. We tried to come do this at Christmas. It did not work out, so we're back. Woo! So we got back from our trip and we wanted to give you guys kind of an honest review of our day trip. So basically I booked like a day trip through Staniel Key Adventures, and basically they book your flight for you, and then we booked like the private boat. You can also do boats with like multiple people, but we chose private so we could maybe go do other stuff.
But just to go over to Exuma, go to a few different islands, you see the pigs. There's like a little underwater cave, grotto.
Iguanas.
There was iguanas, nurse sharks, and then
like
you have
underwater
lunch somewhere.
Yeah, and the lunch we had to pay for ourselves as well.
Well, we chose that.
Yeah.
I think the other options, like they pack it for you or something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I thought that they were gonna pay for the flight because I can't remember. I'll try to write here how much it cost for us to go. I want to say it was between $1,000 and $2,000 for 2 people for the day, but we also went like the more bougie route by getting a private boat and stuff like that. But then we got to the airport and they were like, "Oh, you still need to pay for your flight," and I was like, "Oh, that was like $300." So that I wish was like a little more clear. But then we went and did all the things, and they were all.
The plane ride was like easy.
Yeah, it's a little tiny plane, very tiny plane.
But it's kind of weird. You have to like wait for so long, you know, because it's like such a short trip. It's like the flight was like maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But we had to wait at the airport for like an hour.
Yeah.
So
it's like a full day. So you get to the airport at like 6:30 or 7. You leave at 8. You get there by like 9-ish, and then you don't get home until 5:30.
But we walked off the plane straight onto the boat, which was pretty good.
Yeah,
we had people
really
waiting
easy
there for us with a sign, as you can see in the video.
Yeah. And then we did all the activities. The main thing we wanted to talk about in this video was kind of like just our experience, because like everyone's can be very different. Like we just had, I think, a lot of different expectations leading into it. Like I wanted to see the Pablo Escobar plane. I didn't know that was like a completely different side of the island that would have taken 2 hours to get to. So I was kind of disappointed when the plane was like, you know,
yeah, it wasn't what
down.
we've seen in photos, because I think it was just a different location.
But besides that, I mean, like, we're used to kind of, when you get a boat for the day, the captain kind of dives with you and shows you things and, like, is really interactive. And our guys kind of just didn't talk to us and they kind of hung out with each other the whole time. So it was a little disappointing. And basically, the only other thing that we really just, it was, like, very touristy, if that makes sense. Like,
It kind of, I had also, I've seen other people go to, like, the pig islands and stuff, and it seemed more like the pigs, like, play with you and hang out with you. And, you know, you kind of just, like, you'll swim and they'll come and like hang out with you. Whereas like, I don't know if it was like the time of the day that we went or like whatever it was, but they kind of would just like, they came, they got fed,
and then they
and
left.
then they kind of like went and slept. But I mean,
But
they are animals. So
I
it's
went
like,
to a
you don't
different
really-
pig island though, and they did hang out, and they like. I think it's just this one's very like commercialized. It's part of your tour. You go,
Or
you
it
feed
might have
them.
just been feeding time for them. So
Yeah,
like
we were
that's-
the first 4 people there at
Yeah.
each of the spots because I kind of threw the guy for a loop, and I was like, I want to do these ones first because I didn't want to get my hair wet until like certain parts. So we kind of switched around the order, and I think they normally have an order that they do everything.
But it was cool. They like the whole story behind it was that they used to have them on an island. They like farmed them obviously, and they were using them as like a food source. But they kept like breaking out of their pens, and they were like getting into other stuff, and you know they were destroying things. So like they'd had enough of that. They're like, you know, we don't want to have these guys on our island, so they sent them to another island, and they just like flourished.
The pig started swimming out to like.
But
yachts.
before that, they were like obviously just like, you know, multiplied and whatever. Yeah, and then so like they were eating off of the land, obviously. But then the yachts and boats and stuff would be out in the ocean. They just started like swimming out there trying to get food and stuff.
And then people started taking pictures,
yeah.
and now it's like a thing, which is cool because now they're not getting killed, which is nice. I shouldn't say that. I don't know that for a fact, but anyway. So then basically the whole like reason we were like a little bit upset at the end of the day was like we had about an hour and a half left of our day, and we had already done everything because we were trying to get all the photos before everyone would get there. And so we didn't really have much else to do. And the one thing is, if you're like a free diver, there's not very deep water because it's really shallow all around the islands. We didn't know that. So we took all of our free diving stuff, and there wasn't really anywhere to like free dive. It was like you could almost stand in most of the water.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a bummer there, but like we just didn't do enough research.
It was beautiful. Like the water
Yeah.
was insane, and the islands are like really
And there's
cool.
sandbars everywhere, so that was really cool.
But yeah, we had like an hour to go, and the guy was like, "Okay, guys, like we've kind of like gone everywhere. Is there anything else you want to do?" And then Jamie obviously was talking about the other shipwreck, but I mean the plane wreck. But apparently that is like, you know, was like a couple of hours away, so we couldn't do that. But we were just like, oh, you know, we wouldn't mind just like
just sitting
chilling on the boat, like, you know, just kind of like tanning and floating around, or you know, going somewhere where we like that's a little deeper. And the guy's like, oh yeah, you know, I don't think there's anywhere. And then he kind of just like went to a beach, just drops us off and goes, okay guys, well that's like our day over. Someone will come to pick you up soon. And we're like, what?
We had no idea, and our phones didn't work, so I couldn't message anyone. And luckily we had Wi-Fi at the place at lunch, so it kind of got to the beach that we were at. And so I messaged the lady, and I was like, it's like an hour and a half until we're supposed to be at the airport. Like, why are we on a beach? And she was like, what? So we kind of told her what happened. I mean, it's just one of those things that I don't know if they were over it or we should have taken longer at all the spots, but communicate to your captain if you're going to go to any of this.
I mean,
and you kind of just have to demand what you want to do and not ask, because like
it wasn't really like for what we paid for, and like it being like a private experience. I wouldn't go with them again.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with them again. I've heard that other tours are better. I'll try to find information on them and put it in the bio, but I mean, you live and you learn these kind of things. I've hyped it up in my head because we've tried to do this multiple times. We tried to do it at Christmas, and we couldn't get a COVID test because everything was closed on Christmas to go. You don't need a COVID test now to go inner island. You did back then. And then we tried to go last month on our trip, and then we got sick, so we couldn't come. So now we finally got to go. And so I had it all hyped up in my brain. I was so excited. It was still really cool. I think it's just, I don't know, I guess we expected a little bit different, but maybe that's our fault. Maybe, I don't know.
We're just used to like a different experience when we go on a boat and stuff. Like,
yeah, we're used to dive people who kind of like show us diving
well, we
spots.
kind of get like just, I don't know, taken care of a bit better.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. When you pay over a certain dollar amount, you kind of expect that, I guess.
It might not even be the company. It might have just been the guys we got.
Yeah.
You know, they were kind of younger and stuff. But
yeah.
Either way, I guess that's our review.
But yeah, we kind of just wanted to vlog this part of the trip. we're pretty overwhelmed on a lot of trips with all the content we do on different, you know, devices and medias and everything. So thought a little day trip would be fun to show you guys what we got up to. You can see all of our photos on Instagram. Make sure and follow us and like and subscribe to this video and our channel and everything. And that's it.
Thank you.
Bye.